What's up, everybody? UFC 299 going down this weekend. We got the rematch of the Sugar Show. Now call him the Champ Show versus Marlon Chito Vera. We got an absolute dog match right here, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. That and a fully stacked UFC 299 card. I'm about to break it down for you, folks, but you already know this is 10 minutes or less. My thoughts going into this week's betting odds, betting breakdown, whatever you want to call it. But either way, if you want to go win some money this weekend, you know you need to hit the Bloody Water podcast. Link down below. Go check us out. And let's get into it, all right? All right, and like I said, starting us off on the main event, Sugar Show versus Marlon Chito Vera. This is going to be number 2. My big question going into this one, we know Sean O'Malley's a great striker. We know he possesses the full acumen to be able to nullify his opponent. But the thing is, you got a dog that's going to be walking you down in Chito Vera. This dude comes for blood. He never says quit. He never says die. You really got to be able to drag him into those deep waters. And that's what I think is going to happen in this fight, man. I'm looking for a very calculated fight out of the Sugar Show. And I'm looking for Marlon to walk Sugar down, try to beat him up, spamming those leg kicks. We saw how the first fight ended. I don't think it's going to happen again this time with how calculated Sean O'Malley's going to have to play this one. My big question to you folks, what can they do different? What can either fighter do different in this fight? Because in their last one, that was eons ago. Both of these fighters are brand new, not brand new fighters, but both of these fighters have refined their own style. What can either one of them do? Whoever you're betting on, make sure you let me know down below. And next up, folks, Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis, one of the newest faces that's going to be coming into this UFC scene, really taking his crack at the top 3. I mean, I don't even know if Dustin Poirier is ranked anymore, but he is, definitely one of the top upper echelon fighters in the 155-pound class. But either way, man, this one, we know the Diamond can stay sharp. Yeah, he did lose his last fight to a head kick, the same way Benoit Saint Denis finished his last opponent in the steamroller with a head kick. Dustin Poirier, he has proven to be a little susceptible to that. But man, if you want to talk about sharp, you want to talk about precise, you want to talk about calculated, Dustin the Diamond Poirier has it all, and it's hard to bet against him, especially for what some would consider an unproven fighter that is Benoit Saint Denis. I mean, yeah, has he been proven in the ranks? Yes, but has he been proven in that upper echelon, that top 5, that top people who have been around the game for so long, right? A lot of people, Dustin's an underdog in this fight. It blows my mind that he's an underdog in this one. I don't see it personally, folks. The big question I'm posing to you right here, what does Benoit Saint Denis bring to the table that Dustin hasn't already seen? I mean, Dustin has a slick boxing, very crafty jiu-jitsu. Benoit Saint Denis, yeah, he can do it all. He has done it all, finishes, submissions, decisions, whatever the case. But in a 5-round fight against the Diamond, you have a hard time convincing me that Benoit Saint Denis is going to bring something to the table, maybe besides being a wild man. And if you want to see why that is the case, go check out the Bloody Water. But besides that, man, I really like Dustin Poirier in this fight. But to get the full picks, you know where you need to go check it out. Bloody Water podcast. Let's get in the next one. And a fun fight. I mean, a fun fight if you're a striker fan right here, folks. We got Kevin, the Trailblazer Holland versus Michael Venom Page, MVP, if you will. Some are saying this is UFC versus Bellator, but if you know anything about Michael Page, you know he is a very well-rounded striker. The thing is, my big question, are we going to see D1 Kevin Holland come out right here? Because if Kevin Holland is able to stay calm, cool, composed, and then work for those takedowns, take MVP to a place he hasn't been dragged to in quite a recent time. I mean, MVP's a stud in his own right, but the fact is Kevin Holland has grown his game so much that he has become a new style of fighter, if you will. He's no longer the big mouth. He has that in him. He has that street gangsta in him. We all know Kevin Holland's a real G, but the thing is, man, he can fight in many different styles of fights now. He's able to use his wrestling. He's able to use his grappling. He's able to stall people out with the length he provides. The big worrisome factor I have right here, folks, will the outside entertainment, will the boisterous nature of both of these fighters, will that dominate the fight and make this kind of a boring tic-tac, you go, I go, you go, I go point style of fight? Because that is very well within the realm of possibility. Let me know, folks. Which one are you more excited to see? The striking acumen that both of these fighters possess, or just the shit talk that's going to be happening in the cage? Either way, I'm excited for both. Woo! Ooh, and Gilbert Burns, man. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena, another one, right? Where the newest or the newer face in the UFC and Jack Della Maddalena is taking his chance at the top, man, at the people that have been doing it for so long. And you want to talk about an absolute powerhouse, man. You want to talk about a guy who will fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, doesn't matter. He's going to give everything he's got and take everything you got. That's Gilbert Burns, man. I love Dorino, right? I love the Doreen Fro, man. I hope he brings it back for this fight. He's going to need some energy going into this one. The biggest thing that concerns me right here, folks, and I'll highlight it for you, man. 37 years old? Yeah, 37 years old, almost 38 years old. Gilbert Burns, he is an aging fighter, but that does not mean that you need to sleep on him in this one. I mean, if you want to go see where we're picking, you need to go check out the Bloody Water podcast. But, folks, if you're a fan of violence, you're a fan of Gilbert Burns and Jack Della Maddalena, he needs to perform in this fight right here. He suffered a little bit in his last two split decision wins, in his last two fights. Not performing where we expect JDM to be, so this needs to be the fight where he kicks it into high gear, has the performance he needs, and if he can get it done, this is a huge splash for JDM. And opening us up, man, how can you go wrong with Petr Yan versus Song Yadong? The only reason that an enormous fighter, right, and not enormous in stature, but enormous in personality and enormous in the things he's done for the sport in Petr Yan, taking on another newcomer. I mean, I say newcomer, but this is all relative in the way that Petr Yan has been fighting for the length of time he's been fighting versus Song, man, making a really big name for himself now. But the thing is, like Petr Yan, man, he is well-rounded, a good grappler, good striker, being able to enjoy the chaos, uses that high shell really well. It's kind of the same thing for Yan or for Song on the other side. I mean, he doesn't have the grappling skill, but he has a very, very good striker, uses that high guard, able to control the damage, able to control the pace. But what happens when Petr Yan gets this dude to the ground and he's able to just hold him there, beat him up, control him, and wear him down? That's what worries me in this fight for Song Yadong right here, folks. And I mean, if you're a fan of counter-striking, if you're a fan of power, Song has that, and he can put people to sleep. But we've seen how durable Petr Yan is in this one. My big question right here, folks, is one, is the counter-striking good enough of Song to be able to crack Yan? But the real big one right here is, where does Song Yadong outshine Petr Yan? Because in order to beat Petr Yan, you need to either buzzsaw him or you need to outshine him. We've seen it happen in a couple fights, so it's possible, but where does Song lie in that factor? If you have a good answer, folks, let me know. You already know what to do. But either way, this is going to be a very, very fun, entertaining fight, and there's a reason it's opening up the main card. Folks, like I said, 10 minutes or less, getting you a quick breakdown of my thoughts going into this week's betting odds, performances for the UFC. Either way, folks, if you want to win some money, you already know where to go. BloodyWaterPodcast.com, linked in the profile. And until next time, I'm going to catch you soon. Peace.